I made it. I hate that I didn't get all of it figured out a while ago. Trying to get everything set. Wow, I'm going to wait a while. Let some people come in. Hopefully everybody will come back. Hello. All these things keep popping up on my computer. Hey, New Orleans lady, how are you? Good, I hope. Sorry, everything got all screwed up a while ago. I don't know, but my camera would not come on, and I couldn't even enter StreamYard without it being on. I couldn't even just come up and talk. I don't care if y'all look at my face. I have no makeup on today. But it's what it is. Hello, Borrowed Angel. I'm doing pretty good. Hello, Borrowed Angel. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back, everybody. Craziness, I hate technology. Oh, thank you, Borrowed Angel. I don't feel that. I went to a ballpark last night with no makeup on, and even our pastor goes, I looked over there and thought she looks familiar, but I'm not sure who that is. And I was like, yeah, that's me without makeup. But it's what God made me. So this is me. Oh, goodness. I'm all worked up now because my stupid computer, I don't know what's wrong with this laptop. I guess I need to clean it up a little bit and clean it out and all that good stuff. But man, I just got flustered because it should have been easy, but of course it wasn't. Hey, Landon, thanks for joining us. I appreciate y'all being here. Yeah, take a breath. I was sitting here today and I had my grandson after school, and of course Lolly, can I have your tablet? So he was there and on my tablet, and so I was sitting there kind of thinking in my head how crazy everything is with this case. And I was looking into little Noel's case, who is a little 6-year-old boy here in Texas that he is missing. Barefoot and Country, welcome. Everybody be nice and say hi and show loves to Barefoot and Country. We got a newbie. Just bear with us. We have fun over here. But little Noel is 6 years old, and he is just south of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And nobody has really seen him since October-ish. And more towards the late October, 1st November is when people last saw him. And in March, his mom got passports for her and 6 of his siblings. Mom has 10, count them 10 kids. 3 are living with relatives, and 7 are with Mom. But hi, Kiko. How are you? Good to have you. But Mom got a passport for her and only 6 kids. Little Noel did not receive a passport. And when their passports came in and child welfare came to do a welfare check on this little boy because his family had reported not being able to see him and haven't seen him in a while, and Mom took off. She got on an airplane with 6 of her kids and went to India. Dad, the stepdad, is from India. So they are all now in India. Mom told social workers and police that baby Noel, little Noel, was with his father in Mexico, and that he was going to be staying there. But when they talked to Dad never got to see him. Never, ever. Like, Dad got deported, and it was before he was born. Mom never came to Mexico, so Dad has never seen him. Doesn't have him. So this poor little baby, let me see here. He's diagnosed with a speech delay. He has dystrophia, which is an eye that turns inward, and it's both of his eyes, and a chronic lung disease and other things that he's diagnosed with. So this little one's got some special needs. But they were saying that people had seen Mom abuse him. She had been heard saying Noel was evil, possessed, or having the demon in him. So, not good. Doesn't sound good. The house where they lived, they stayed with this man, and he, since little baby, I keep saying little baby, since little Noel come up missing, he has laid concrete for a patio, and there was a shed out back, and he had moved the shed and had concrete put there. So police have dug that up. Cadaver dogs hit on the rug inside of the shed, and they hit on when they tore up the concrete of the patio, the dogs hit on the topsoil there. So they think there was his body that was laying there. So, does not sound good. It is so sad what is happening in our world these days. These poor little kids. You know, and my thing is, these people that heard and saw this baby being abused, I blame them. They should have done something. They should have taken him. They should have called and had him taken away. They should have reported something. Anything, but yeah, I was reading over that today, and y'all, even though Mom and the stepdad have a felony arrest warrant out for child endangerment, they're in India. I don't know that they'll ever be found. So it is a sad, crazy world we live in. So y'all keep that little boy in your prayers. Police believe that he is deceased. But we don't know for sure. And I just pray that if he's still here with us, that maybe somebody has him and is taking care of him and loving him. But, and from there, after reading all that, I just started thinking about poor little Summer, Here she is. He was in foster care. Oh, New Orleans lady, I didn't read all that. Oh my goodness, he was in foster care, guys. Yeah, he should have stayed there. You know, I understand that our foster care system is very overloaded. There's more kids than there are people to take care of them. But it just seems to me like there's a whole lot that get sent back to parents, and we end up losing those kids. So that's not something, that needs to be happening. But what's the answer? That's the sad part. How do you fix it? How do you make sure that these kids are truly, truly safe? I don't know. Sad. It just broke my heart today. It kind of broke my spirit. I was just, oh man, it doesn't sound well. Especially a mom that's leaving and gets passports for 6 of her 7 kids. Not good. But, like I said, I started going from there as foster parents had him for a year. That's where all of his photos and videos came from, was his foster parents. Sounds to me like mom didn't want him. And I did read where mom had twins after she married this guy, the stepdad. And mom was afraid that he was going to hurt the babies. So, okay, take him out of the house and give him, she gave her other 3 kids to somebody else, or somebody took them away. So why can't you do that with him? That just, I don't know, y'all. It's so sad. So sad. And I guess I lived in a bubble, guys, because I knew there were missing kids. I knew there were all these cases where things weren't being solved or whatever, but I never knew the scope. I never allowed myself to reach outside my bubble, I guess. And since doing all of this for Summer's case and everything, I am blown away. And it just makes me so, so sad. And little Summer, she's got a neighbor across the street that talks about all the abuse she had to suffer. But yet, he didn't do nothing. And it's just not right. Somebody should always speak up. Yes, I agree, Borrowed Angel. She needs to be spayed. Yes. Sounds like it. 10 kids, Lord. And you only have 6 that you got. Something's not right. But anyways, little Summer's case, nothing new, nothing going on, nothing to really report on. And I got to thinking, and I thought, there's so many questions that just kind of linger there. So I started writing down this list, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there is so much to question in this case. And, of course, number 1, what the hell happened? What happened? You hear about abuse in the household. Was she abused? We don't know. None of us were involved until Summer went missing, That's when we came in, so we don't know what happened before. Yeah, New Orleans lady, it is hard. It is hard. New Orleans lady said, I cannot make videos about Summer. I will get so mad and I'll start blaming people that I shouldn't blame. Yeah. It's a vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. Because I want to just yell and scream. I don't want to call out names, but names have been called and nothing is being done at all. Like the abuse. To me, that was the first question. And it came from little Noelle's case, and it was like, okay, if the neighbor's going to come up there and say, what about the drugs that was being sold to the mom for sedation on the children? Okay, if you knew that, that's your responsibility to say something. And then when I started thinking about all that, it's like, I got to remember where I'm talking about. We're talking about the holler. We're talking about people who have lived there for forever. Families are intertwined and connected and related, and there are drugs in that holler being made, sold, distributed. Nobody's going to say anything. There's some bad people up in there. So, nobody's going to say anything. They're probably connected in some way, and they're not going to put themselves or their family at risk. So, no, even if somebody saw, not going to say nothing. Yes, even though she wasn't standing behind him, she still refused to say it. She knew. You go to June 15th, where the questions really started. Was Dawn at work? Nobody can really say that because Dawn worked by himself. He contracted out. They have a house that needs to be sheetrocked. Everything's done. They need the sheetrock done. Can't do anything else till that's done. So they go on to another house. Don's there by himself. Don got rid of his helper the day before. So Don was there by himself. If he was at work. Did the boys stay home? They were not seen on surveillance at the Walgreens. That was the last time, the last surveillance it was seen of Summer that day. So the boys weren't seen. So were they with Dawn at work or were they at home? Another question. Did Summer get hurt at the horse pond? We don't know. You have H saying she went under for several seconds and he had to pull her up. You got Candace saying, no, she didn't. She was fine. We just have their word. That's all we have. We don't have any facts. We don't know any true facts. So then the other big question has been, did she make it back up on the hill? Did something happen? They get rid of her before then? We don't know. Did Candace leave the hill twice? Her neighbor said she left twice. I'll give it a timeline, couple of lives back, I think it was, that I did the video with the timeline. And, it does say that she was seen on, I think it was Light Hollow Road or Fields Road at 3:45 that day. So There's a video surveillance of her at a gas station convenience store type thing. So does she go here and then come back and then go there? Or I don't know. Nobody knows. Was Andy and Dawn both home that day? Was Andy home? We don't know. There's a phone call with his boss, with Andy's boss, who basically sums it up as saying that he believes that he was there. He didn't necessarily see him. Surveillance video wise, there is different ways to come in where you're not on camera for his job. So we don't know. Fred Hill does say he had to move his car. He had his wrecker with the car attached to it, and he had to move it out of the way because Andy was needing to get through. So that was about 3 o'clock that day. So June 15th, no matter how you look at it, there's questions. Just for that day. That one very important day. Almost 2 years later, there's nothing but questions. Nothing but questions. Then you move on to the scream, the red truck, the neighbor heard and saw the red truck. Why would she say there's a scream that she heard? Animalistic, colors and shapes and, extort on this scream into this fairy tale drug-induced world. I don't know what she was doing, but if it was all unfounded, why? Why would she even put it out there? Why is she going to put out something that is not going to be a fact? I don't understand that. I don't get why she has to be this person that interjects into everything. Next we have a timeline. We have a timeline that has been twisted around. It's been manipulated. It's been everything done to it. It's been interjected into this case so big that for a long time, all we had was that little bitty timeline to go off of. And the timeline all came from the neighbor. Dawn would always say, well, the neighbor said. Candace could give us timelines of the daytime when her and Summer and Hunter and Grandma were over here doing their thing in town. But once it comes to that hill, it comes to the holler, the neighbor was in control of that timeline. And why? What? I want her to tell me why the hell she has to do that. I mean, what is she covering up? Because to me, that's obvious. If you're interjecting yourself into something so deep and so big and so YouTube just huge, then, why? What is your reasoning? Is it just for money? Just to make your channel big? Just to make you big? Make you feel important? I get that. But to put a child's case at risk just so you can feel good about yourself makes you a bad person. News alert. Well, then we got the church. Here's Robin, super sweet lady. You can very much tell that she cared for Summer. She had her in her class every week. She had her while she's on stage singing, and Summer would just go up there, and Summer loved her. Kids sense who cares and who doesn't. They know these things, and Summer felt obviously that this is a lady that I can trust. Then you've got this man who just shows up at the church not long before Summer comes up missing, and yet he's one of the first people that's there on the hill. He's taking the boys off to play putt-putt golf. He's there every day walking around, seeing what he can do to help. He's interjecting himself into this. And then about 2 weeks later, he disappears. He goes back to a different church, he went from their church to a Baptist church, back to a Baptist church, got married, and just disappeared. I heard he's in Texas. So if anyone knows where David Dotson lives, let me know, because I got a few questions for that man. I will travel. Well, then you get to the media manager. Oh, the media manager. I have one word. Weirdo. And guys, these things I'm saying as far as describing someone, my opinion, but this one is a strange one. He did not even know the family. He went a roundabout way of meeting Robin, and then he got her to connecting to the family, and I think he just started out wanting maybe a little fame out of it because he was going to be the media manager. Well, to be a media manager, you have to stay on top of the case. To be a media manager, you need to know the facts. We know more about Summer than he does. And if I was him, I'd be embarrassed. Here's a man that walks around talking and talking. He just put out a video not too long ago of them searching the woods around the house. He's walking down a hill. He picks up one stick and moves some leaves around. No. Please. That is just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Here it is, a year and a half after she's been gone, and you're going to go out and do that because people are starting to gripe and complain and question you? No. Don't be stupid. But that right there was like the final straw for me with him. He's crazy. He's a little short. I think he is a very intelligent man, but I don't think he's a very smart man. And he put out some other videos where he's telling how he became friends with the Wells. Those were really weird. But, questions. More questions. Why did he insert himself if he's not going to do no good? I mean, he actually, with that last video, made the Wells look worse than what they can make themselves look. So, you come to YouTube. Have we made Summer's case worse? Have we interjected ourselves to where she's not being found because of something we've done? I've often felt that we as a big community, and we're a very large community here talking about Summer, maybe whoever took her didn't really plan on doing much with her and letting her go maybe, or keeping her close by. But her case got to YouTube and totally it just blew up. So now they've got to do something different. I always wonder about that. So, I don't know. Has YouTube helped or hindered Summer's case? More questions. Then we get to the big question. LE, TBI, Hawkins County. This right here, all of them, all the above, have failed Summer in my opinion. And I think those leading the investigation were not doing a whole lot, trying to just kind of put it off a little bit. And in my opinion, they did it because they wanted to cover up what was going on up in that hollow. Because the sheriff, the big bag Ronnie Lawson, lots of things go on back there around where he lives. I just don't understand how a grown-up wants to protect other grown-ups and leave a child to be the one to pay an ultimate price. But that's how this area seems to think. So Sly says, my question is, why did they think having paid memberships to learn more about Dawn was a good idea? No clue. Questions, more questions, It's always questions. The whole Summer Wells case is nothing but questions. And it's time for that to stop. When I met Tim at Summer's vigil last June, I didn't get a very good vibes from him. Oh, barefooting in the country. Oh, I wouldn't even want to be close to him. Because that's exactly what I would think, is you would get bad vibes from him. Yeah, I don't even want to be around law enforcement around there. I would not trust them with my life. I live in a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And I'm telling you, when my son used to go across the highway, across the tracks, and he would be smoking his weed, walking down the street, the cop would bring him to my front door and say, Loretta, I think you would probably want to handle this one. And I was like, thank you very much. And then there was one time where they said, tired of picking him up, just wanted to let you know where he is. It's time for him to learn a lesson. So, yeah, they're going to do what's right. There's one one brother is good, one brother's bad, and they're very political. And the bad one finally got locked away. And it happens because you did wrong. Where Hawkins County doesn't play by that code. You know, so I feel safe here in my town. I would not feel safe over in the Beech Creek, Ben Hill area. Because should one of them good old boys be the one to get anywhere close to me, I know that they would be the ones that would come out on smelling like roses at the end of it, because they're all being protected. Guys, this is just my opinion, but to me, they prove it every time they talk. Every time we find out that Ronnie Lawson's son, Brandon Lawson, who assaulted 2 girls, young girls, at his church, in the church, one of those girls was his stepdaughter, or adopted daughter, one of the two. But the man got a 20-year sentence with 19 reduced, and he was at home supposedly with an ankle monitor. Yeah, not right. Not right at all. I have seen people get busted for having a baggie of weed and got more than what that man served. And he is messing with children's lives. So, you know, just makes you wonder what's really going on. Who's who? Who's the leader out there? You know, everybody's afraid of Fred Hill. But yet, here's Ziggy. She walked up on his property. Didn't know him, never been introduced, sat down, had a conversation with him. Was he BSing her? I don't know. A lot of his stuff kind of has been proven. He might be a crazy guy. Might be. But I don't know. You know, it's like, why don't they talk? Another part of that is, what sheriff that's leading this investigation for this 5-year-old little girl is going to say, hey, everybody in the area, search your properties, okay? Doesn't matter that you're an SO. Let's not worry about that. Just search your property. Doesn't matter that you have hurt little children. Don't matter. Just search your property. That makes no sense. So, that one really gets me. That one really gets me. Because here is this man that is supposed to be in law enforcement, supposed to be a leader of the community, upstanding citizen, law-abiding, and he's going to make sex offenders search their own property for a 5-year-old child, a little girl. Tell me who in law enforcement would do that other than someone who is trying to protect people around him. You know, he had officers that got in trouble for getting on somebody else's Wi-Fi, the neighbors, and looking at porn, child porn. It's sickening. It's no wonder they haven't had more children come up missing. Well, it's about time you made it, sister girl. Thanks for coming, Annabella. Better late than never. So, you kind of get to that point, and all you can do is stop and say, what has happened in this case revolving around a 5-year-old little girl that does not have questions? Is there anything definitive? Is there any factual things that we know of? Is there anyone that can be marked off the list? Is there anyone that can definitely need to stay on the list? Are there properties that need to be searched? Heard the guy from EquiSearch saying not too long ago, somebody was replaying it, that there was a 1-mile radius that he searched, and when he got back, they sent, Ronnie Lawson himself sent other people to go and search the exact same 1-mile radius. So, why are we not searching other than researching the same area? Why are we not going out further? I call total bullshit on Ronnie Lawson. And somebody can show it to him. I don't care. I don't care. He is doing nothing to help find Summer. I don't think there is anyone that has been cleared. I don't think so either. But at some point, you got to either figure out, what are you doing? What are they doing? What are they not doing? There's a whole lot of people involved in this case. A whole lot that can be suspects that are closely related. Fly says, seems to me if they are working on the case, somebody would have been cleared by now. Exactly. Look at their parents. Their parents are getting ridiculed every single day on the YouTube streets. Hey, Kim. Kim, very good question. See, I thought so too. I thought Ronnie Lawson was under investigation, but he's still rocking out there doing his happy little thing. Nobody is saying anything about his investigation. So probably whoever they got to investigate him is part of the problem. I don't know. That's all I can do is guess. But you got parents who started out having an addiction to drugs, alcohol. You have parents who parented the best they could for what they knew, what they had been taught. You have parents who may not have had the cleanest, perfect house around, but they didn't have the worst that I've ever seen in my life. So, did they do something? They both passed a polygraph test. They both have told the same exact story. Never wavered. I have heard Candace get fluttered and her version kind of becomes distracted, kind of making a little bump in the wave or wave in the water or whatever, but she goes straight back to the original. You know, have they made a story up and they've just stuck to it for damn near 2 years? Almost. Or are they really innocent? Could it be that Dawn was at work? The boys were inside playing their video games. Candace did leave the hill. Grandma was asleep. And somebody come up that hill and lured her down. Hey, come here. I got this little kitty cat down here. Come help me. You know how she loved animals. You know, come help me get this little puppy dog. When we get it, you can name the pup, give the puppy a name, or you can have the puppy, or, you know, here's some candy, you know. Come on, come see me. Little girl is as happy as a lark. Never met strangers from what I could tell. And that's all it would take. She'd probably go. And if she went, of course, there's somebody waiting down at the bottom, and poof, she's gone. Not a lot of evidence. They didn't come up there and bust in. They didn't come in and steal stuff. They didn't drag her off, and her feet and legs and all scraping through all those leaves and trees and dirt, and there's no sign. But the dogs lose her scent at the road. So whoever was down there took off with her. Yeah, Annabella, exactly. A split second, life changed as she knew it. So could that have happened and the parents not known about it? And I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you guys. I really feel like since Dawn went straight to Frank Light, banging on his door, where's my daughter? That takes some balls. That takes some balls. Frank is a badass. So, yeah, if Candace was gone, Grandma's asleep, who's watching the kids? Once again, they watch themselves. Boys playing video games, Summer goes outside. That has probably been a scenario that has happened 100 times over. But one time it backfires. Kim said, I honestly don't think law enforcement will put out any info until they can actually solve it. They don't want anything else to jeopardize this case. That campsite has bothered me since early on. I agree. That campsite was creepy. And when Cam was telling us that one place where all the sticks are kind of stacked up and a bunch of leaves, you know, stuff, bushes and stuff was all stacked up in there. And he said, you look right over the top of that and it looks straight at Summer swing. Somebody has been watching. That's obvious. Somebody was watching her. So, run, Annabella, run. But she gonna go make her some coffee. Yes, it was perfect shot to her swing. So it really makes you think. Somebody had been watching, and if somebody was up on that hill that's higher than their hill, and they had been really paying attention, Candace left. She came back. She left again. There's probably somebody down there watching. if that was the day. And when she took off to town, it was perfect timing. What do they call that when it's a perfect storm or something like that? Yeah, perfect. But when that happened, all that did was leave question marks floating all over this case. They're just hanging everywhere. But you have people who are very determined to blame the parents. You have people who are very determined to blame the neighbor. You have people who are very determined that it's, this one or that one or here and there. And we don't know. Nobody knows. Nobody knows if it's the right thoughts, the wrong thoughts. Should I not think that way and go this way with my thoughts? Should I just stay over here? It's just mind-boggling because there are no answers. No one knows. So, I don't know. I've been on Daisy's channel, the cow lady, as they call her. Bless her heart. But I've been up there. I've been listening around the streets, listening to different people's opinions. And I'll tell you what, they're harsh over there on hers. People come in just to bash and to create havoc on those parents. I talked to Don not too long ago on her panel. He was very appreciative that everybody on that panel had been nice to his wife. He said she needs it. She needs real friends because she doesn't have any that are real, just people who've used her. And he thanked us for being so kind and thanked us for continuously keeping Summer's name out there. Candace has been on panel several times. And just from those times over there, listening to them, I really think it's sounding a lot like Don and Candace are really trying hard. Trying to stay away from the bad life, the drugs, the alcohol. Kudos to them. I came in and said prayers answered for Summer to come soon and got timed out. Yeah, her mods time people out really quick. But I don't mess with that. I just go over there, listen a little bit, especially when the parents are on there. I want to listen and see what they got to do. Good night, Borrowed Angel. Oh, well, bake your cake. Thanks for being here. We love you. We'll see you soon, hopefully. Have a good night. But, guys, this is just my opinion that I really think the parents are trying. Candace finished her classes that she needed to finish for parenting classes. So they're making efforts. Is it a little too late? I don't know. More questions. Does it mean they didn't do anything? No. That's just something they're doing now. That's all that is. Questions still sit around. Questions still sit there. No matter how good or how bad the parents are doing, no matter what people think or what people are saying, there's still questions. questions, questions, questions. Sitting around, floating around. Nobody is going to get along in this case. Everybody's got different opinions. There's probably somebody out there now that's going to bash me because I said the parents are trying, and it sounds like they're trying and they're doing well. Well, like I said, is it too late? That's something maybe they should have done to start with. But I will go back and say, if you have a parent that's, number one, addicted to drugs, number two, addicted to alcohol, and have a party lifestyle with your children in the home, and a child comes up missing, a piece of your heart is tore away. You know, I lost my son. I knew where he was, so I couldn't imagine not knowing. I actually have a friend right now, and I may be bringing that to y'all soon, trying to get a little more details. But her son took an Uber and has not been seen for 3 days. So her heart's tore all to pieces. She don't know. And so for them, this is a small child. They're going back to their drugs so they don't feel. They're going back to their alcohol so they don't feel. And even though they're not going back to that party lifestyle, they're enjoying the attention they're getting because they really didn't get that kind of attention before. Everyone feels sorry for them, wants to help them. All these things are happening. So, yeah. Who's going to blame parents like that? Who's going to blame people like that? You can't, bash on them just because they didn't do or say the right thing. They came to YouTube and they talked while they were drunk. They talked while they were sober. Oh, wait. But their stories were always the same. Drunk or sober. Drunk or sober. It didn't matter. They did. Yes, Kim, they did self-destruct before our eyes. Now they're at a point where they're pulling themselves up. But their daughter's still not here. They still can't have a funeral for her. They can't hug her. They can't do anything because she's not here. So, does that mean they did anything or didn't do anything? Don't know. So, I look at it. Look at here. Kim's already said it. Almost 22 months on the parents. I think it's time to start looking in another direction. Summer deserves all avenues to be looked into, and so does the boys. Yes. I mean, we have beat the parents into the ground over the past 22 months. We're a couple months away from it being 2 years that the parents have been belittled, laughed at, hated on, all the above that could definitely happen to them. Maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to leave the parents alone. If they did something, maybe they'll say something. No, Flies, I agree with you totally. I don't think Ellie has even tried to clear them or anyone else. No. That starts opening questions. Dawn and Candace probably know something on somebody in the holler there. I don't know. I think law enforcement doesn't want to rock the boat any which way. Barefooting in the Country says, I believe since the beginning that Summer was lured away by someone that knows the Wells very well. I keep the faith that Summer will be found alive. I pray for a miracle every day. You know, that's pretty much where I'm at, Barefoot. I really feel like somebody pulled her down off of that hill, but she went to them because there's no signs of anything. There was no broken limbs and, no sign of struggles anywhere. And then she gets down to the end, and that's where her scent is lost. Although cadaver dogs go off of the cells on your body, they don't follow necessarily the smell in the ground. So they followed this scent down that hill up to that road, and it just stopped. Boom. So, I honestly believe, Ellie, law enforcement of every kind, any kind, every which way in that area, and not just Hawkins County. There's another county next to them, where Ronnie Lawson's son went to be sentenced. They failed Summer Wells. I put all that blame on them because they've made efforts to search, but by golly, they're searching the same areas. She's not there, guys. Move on. Do something different. So it was search and rescue, yes. But I had heard today that the cadaver dogs don't necessarily smell the ground. They are trained to smell, just like if you're walking, you might have a little skin fly off of your skin or something. And they can trace and follow through the air. But the dogs, the search and rescue, they were on the ground, yes. I just thought that was cool that a dog can smell through the air and smell your scent. But yeah, I blame totally all of this on law enforcement. And because they didn't do their job, here's these YouTube streets that went into total self-destruction. But that's on law enforcement. Goes back to law enforcement. I blame them because they're not saying anything. Everybody's trying to keep this up and going. How many times can you talk about Summer? How many ways can you talk about Summer? What else do we do? We're here trying, but if it was Carly Trent, Lawson would have had the whole crew out there. Everybody and anybody, come on, come search. It was the same damn terrain. Same stuff. Growing, the same trees, the same hills, all the same. But for Summer, no, you stay home. You stay home and search your own property. What's the difference? What is the difference? It's not right. You let this little girl down. So does that tell me, maybe y'all are the ones that took her? Maybe you have an organization out there? Maybe you have some kind of secret society or a group that, got together and decided, hey, let's be the badass of Rogerville, Ben Hill area, Beach Creek area, whatever. Are y'all the ones that did it? Y'all the ones that took her? Don't know. Nobody knows nothing, right? Right, Ronnie Lawson? No one knows nothing. The place where everybody goes to dinner with each other or gets on the phone and talks to each other. Y'all have your little community out there. Y'all all know the same things because you all tell each other, oh, except for Summer Wells. Nobody knows. Just like the neighbor can tell you what car's going up that driveway just by the sound of the gravel. That neighbor can tell you what the kids say, what they're playing, if they're in trouble, if they're not in trouble. Oh, except for June 15th. All she can tell us is a scream, and she saw a little glimpse of a red Toyota Tacoma with no ladder racks. But she didn't hear it go up there. You know, she wasn't listening that day. She had some of these GoPro cam things out there, not GoPro, but these video cameras out there. That day, June 15th, there was no SD cards in them. So what happened? Was there a phone call made on June 14th at midnight? Was there a radio blast alert put out June 15th early in the morning? Was there a mass text that was sent out? Get your video cameras, get your whatever, your dogs, everything, get them in, because we don't know nothing from here until they miss her. So, yeah. Questions? Trail cams. That's the word. I can't think of it when I want to say it. And I knew what it was called. I just couldn't think of it. I was like, GoPro? No, that's not it. But yes, everybody knows everything in that holler. I mean, I live in a small town. My street and the street behind me, call me and ask me what anybody on this place is doing, where they're at right now. I'll tell you. You know, ask me about my neighbors. I'll tell you. Ask me about the schools, teachers. I'll tell you. I see people in the little grocery store when I go shopping. You know, everybody knows. And don't tell me that place there is any different. They deal in drugs together. They deal in moonshine together. You know, they deal in SO together. So, I agree with you, Kiko. Why was her son sneaking around up there trying to get some info on what they know, what they're hearing, what they're saying? And it was probably the same trail he was up there when he took Summer and got her to come down that hill. She would have went to him in a heartbeat. Just my opinion. But flies, my closest neighbors are cows. There's 2 streets right here. And, you know, everybody knows everything. When you live in a small town, a small place, everybody knows everything. You know, it's to the point here where a friend of mine called one of our other friends that, you know, we've all known each other. Everybody's known each other for forever. And they called and said, "Hey, I'm sorry. Heard about your wife." And he said, "What?" Well, she had heard that his wife was filing for divorce. She heard it in the grocery store. He didn't know nothing about it. They had just come back from Cancun from their anniversary. But it's a small town. That's how word travels. But yet, June 15th, nobody knows. Not everybody was blind and deaf. And they can't say nothing because they don't know. So, what are we supposed to do? You know, what the hell are we supposed to do? How are we? I mean, we got flyers going everywhere. People are putting them out. I know they are. You know, I'm putting them out all the time. Kim said, JSB is on damage control for her own dirty dealings. She talks 7 days a week, hours and hours about summer and garbage, yet she's not a creator, nor is she grifting. My God. Totally agree. 100% with you there, sister. Jody's trying to spin the narrative. Jody talks in riddles. But those riddles that she keeps blabbering on and on about, there's key words there that you start listening for, you start picking up on. She's actually talking to somebody else. She's actually sending a message. If you really watch her, you really listen to her, that woman is trying to divert things away from her and her family. And she's sending out messages at the same time to her family. So, there's key words. You'll hear her say it over and over. Those words mean something, and they mean something to somebody. You know, even a psychopath can't remember all the words they said the week before. She might be psychotic, but she has an agenda, and she's staying the course. You know, she would have went a different direction had she not had anything to be worried about, covered up, whatever. So, yeah. Guys, I have no clue what more to do. I mean, I kind of want to go over a video. I was going to do it already, but I've been trying to get in touch with him to get his permission to use it, but I'm going to just do it, I think. So, we might try to do that pretty soon. It's a video I would love for y'all to see, because it's kind of creepy. Kind of puts a little narrative on what possibly could have happened for a little while. Outside that 1 mile radius that was checked. I get so aggravated and I get so flustered that I want to scream. Sometimes I want to cry when it comes to Summer. My heart breaks for her. You know, I feel bad for the parents because they had nothing leading them, nobody guiding them, nobody trying to help them while they were high as a kite, drunk as a skunk, you know. And they hurt themselves. Why? You know, we could only guess. So, I don't know. I do feel bad for them. I feel bad for any parent who has a child that came up missing. You know, I've had people say to me in chats on Facebook groups, but the parents deserve it. You know, the way they live, they did this, you know, blah, 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 blah. They don't come after kids that are wealthy, and they don't come after kids that their parents don't do drugs. Really? what about... Oh gosh, here we go again, flies. Yes, flies, that's it. John Davis True Crime. I would like to... I've asked him in chat before to email me, but he hasn't. And I sent him a message, but he didn't answer, so... But I would like to have his permission to use it. So I appreciate that. But here I go, flies. Can't remember the girl's name. She was the blonde-headed girl that the man came into her room, took her out of her bed with her little sister laying right beside her there. She was gone for a while. And they found her, I think it was on the side of the street or something. Months and months and months later. Come on, guys, y'all help me out. It's not JC Dugar. I keep wanting to say that, but it's not her. Elizabeth Smart. You know, she was kidnapped from her bed. And yet her parents were very Christian, involved in church. They were very good, a very good family. She had a nice house. She had parents that didn't drink. They were not involved with drugs. So no, that's an excuse, people. It doesn't matter who you are. If there is somebody out there that wants your child, they're going to do everything they can to get to that child. So no, don't blame the parents because they're a certain way. Thanks, flies. I appreciate you doing that. But yeah, you know, when they threw that one up at me, I'm like, no, you know, no. You know, look at little Madeline McCann. Her parents weren't in there in the room. They weren't very far. And she wasn't the only child that was laying there sleeping. There was several other, you know, that was little bungalow things that had kids sleeping. Her parents weren't involved in drugs, drinking. Yeah, they had some wine, you know, but no, people use this preconceived thoughts that because the Wells lived the way they did, because the Wells dressed the way they did, because of their, I don't know, because they are who they are, that's the reason their daughter gets taken? Bullshit. No. It doesn't matter who they are. A child should never be taken. That is wrong, no matter how you look at it. Yes, in Elizabeth Smart's case, the dad hired this man for a handyman doing some work around their house. You know, they were very nice to this man. And, you know, that's what he comes back and does. So, I don't know. I don't find excuses in reasons why you blame someone. No, that's not right. Get facts and then explain to me why you're going to blame them. And I'll totally be on board with that. But just because they live the way they do, that's not good enough. You know, oh gosh, flies, I agree with you. I pray Summer's case doesn't get dragged out like JonBenet Ramsey's. That is so horrible. They finally, after 25 years now, they finally have cleared the father and the brother. The mother didn't do it. there was the DNA that was on her panties did not match theirs. Why did it take so long? DNA is not new. So, the crazy world we live in, guys. So sad. So very sad. You know, look at little Noelle. Here's a mother that did who knows what. Look at Lori Vallow. Or Daybell, or whatever the heck her name is. You know, kill your kid, bury him, and fly off to somewhere else. Not cool. Not cool at all. And for them to think it's okay is the worst part. At some point in their weird ass mind of theirs, they actually thought this is okay. No, it's not. Yeah, you're right, Flies. The parents do suffer. The baby suffers. The girl suffers. The little boy suffers. You know, to be taken is horrible for that child. Just think of what that child is going through every day without her parents. I agree, barefooting, because I have seen houses that have dirt floors, but they are a happy family that lives there. You know, I would never think about taking their child because they have a dirt floor. That mother swept that floor every day. It was daggum near like concrete, but yeah. And their kids, they couldn't afford to go places, but they nowhere big, but they did things. They did things with their kids, taught their kids. They went to church every Sunday. You know, they were such a loving family. And I was very honored to meet them and to see where they lived. You know, their house was nowhere close to the Wells. What the Wells had would have been like a mansion to this family. And yet they were happy. They were super happy. And if you look at all the pictures that were taken, that was from Candace, the mother, you know, the one who doesn't like her kids. The one who would rather drink than spend time with her kids. She sure took them a lot of places. So, like I said, don't know if the Wells did anything. Not standing up for their innocence, not standing up for their guilt. But look at the brighter picture. Look all the way around. You know? Because whether they did something and having to live with that guilt, or whether they didn't and they have no clue where their child is, those people are suffering. And it's not our place to judge. There is only one judge, and that is God. It's not for us to do. So, everybody just keep Summer in your thoughts and prayers every day. And if you come across any time at all where you're around her parents or whatever, just encourage them to help find their daughter. Just encourage them to stay away from the drama. So, it's all we can do, guys. It's all we can do. But I guess I'll get off of here. Nature lover, how are you? You good? I hope so. I hope everybody's doing good. I have some sinus issues. This pollen here, he East Texas pollen is no joke, people. Blah. And we're out at the ballpark every day. Kids came running at me Monday night, and I have paid for it ever since because the little flies quit making fun of me here, but I forgot what they're called. The little white things. It's a little white ball thing, and you blow it, and they go all. What are those called? Whatever those things are. I am highly allergic to those. They did testing and found out I am highly allergic to those and to elm trees, which my neighbor has right there. But, oh yeah, two of the little ones come running up. Lolly, lolly, lolly. And, oh, yeah, got some sinuses going. So I hope y'all are doing well. If anything, we can help protect the boys with not putting hate out for them to see. I'm not going to do that ever here. I promise you guys. Even if those parents were proven to be guilty, they said it themselves, they tell us what happened, blah, 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 I would still not spew out hate. It's not my place to do. I'm not going to be that channel. I'm not going to do it. And I hope you guys don't. You know, I know we all get lots in our minds and this, that, the other. You know, everything's kind of coming at you every which way. And oh, if you're hearing music, that might be the first one that I attempted, but my video camera on my laptop decided it was not working, so I had to restart later. But yeah, lots of versions out there, lots of people putting out ideas up there. You can hear 500 different thoughts on one subject. You could hear all kinds of ways, and that's okay, because that's what it's going to take, people. You know, it's okay. Listen. Oh, thank you. Thank you, flies. But listen to all of those different versions that are being put out there, because that's what it takes to pull. Okay, that part makes sense, you know, so you pull this part over here. Okay, well, that part, that's going to fit this time, you know, here. And you start pulling all these pieces from all these different people. And guess what? You put it like a puzzle together. And that's what we have to do. That's the only way we as YouTubers can help. Yelling and screaming at parents, not going to help. Doing all this other stuff, bashing them, doxing people, blocking people, none of that is helping. It's not going to help Summer. Crazy, but it's not. Surprise. But yeah, listen to all those that are being put out there, you know, listen to them. Those, you know, a lot of those people put a lot of time into what they're putting out and saying, and appreciate it. I listen to a lot of places. There's two that I don't go to, okay? Two. I don't go to Prayer Garden. I do not want somebody to cuss me and pray for me all in the same sentence. Want no part of that. And I don't go to Jody Sue's. I got tired. I got tired of listening to... She's probably said enough to convict herself, but nobody's going to ever do anything about it. So I quit listening. I don't know. It's depressing sometimes. And then other days I wake up and I think, okay, I'm going to put some stuff out there. I'm going to talk to people and we'll discuss everything, because, you know, me sitting up here talking to myself is not going to help. I'm not going to do no good. I'm going to just stay on my little track of mind thought and never start pulling in other things. You guys, y'all put your 2 cents out there. I want to know. I want to listen. I want to hear it. Go into other channels. Some I get up on panels, some I don't. Some I just sit and listen to. Some I get involved in the chat. But too much innuendo and rumors or just hate rants. I agree with you, Flies. When it starts that, I'll turn it off and move on. I got too much to do in my life to sit and listen to somebody hate bashing and raging on somebody or whatever, Okay, I get it. You don't like them. End of story. Nothing I can do. Can't help you. So, yeah. I don't know, guys. It is such a sad time out there. And I thought sometimes I didn't think, maybe I should just move on. Maybe I should just cancel my channel. But little Summer has got my heart, just like y'all. She has a piece of me attached to her little heart, wrapped around her little finger, just wanting to find her, Is she with us? Is she not with us? We don't know. More questions. It's just a revolving door of questions. And I really think it shouldn't be. But that's, like I said, my opinion. But I honestly believe that everything that has been said, and as much as Ronnie Lawson and them hate YouTube, if they would listen to some people that live close by and start hearing some things, they might idea maybe where they should be looking, maybe, or what direction. Because, not every missing child case gets to search their own property, even though they've been admitted, been convicted of being indecent with a child. And you're going to let them search their property? Not many cases does one man get to ride a horse. This man, who has done some not so nice things to little children. This man who is involved in the deep dark web. This man gets to go on a horseback ride through the country. Just one horse. Not many. It's not like there's not many horses out there. There's lots. No, y'all stay home and search your properties. And this one man's going to go on his horse and look. That horse is buried right now. Not many cases would tolerate that. Yes, Kim, there was a mass reporting of false tips, and it hurt Summer's case. It really did. And they may. Don't get me wrong, they may have somebody listening to these YouTube streams. They really may. I don't know. I've heard they do. I've heard they don't. I've heard they don't care. They don't want nothing to do with YouTube. I've heard all kinds of stuff. So. But when you have a fake fed, that makes everything look bad. When you got a person out there with a name that has different personalities, that makes it look bad. It makes Summer's case look very bad. People are. I agree with you, Kim. That horse was running for his poor animal, was running for his life. I agree. I have a thought of what scent might have been on the back of that horse that might have fell off and left a footprint. But we won't go there. Not today. But yeah, all the crap that's been put out there, and I say the word crap because I'm trying to be nice. But yeah. Maybe YouTube has hurt her case. Maybe we are not doing well for her. Maybe we are not what Summer needs to come home. Yes, flies. So, I don't know. Maybe we're just as bad as law enforcement out there in that area. Or maybe we're not. Maybe there's just a few of us. Just like in Ben Hill, Beach Creek area. Maybe there's just those of us who don't care about Summer's case. Just like there's those few out there in that area that maybe were a part of her case. What caused her to have a case? So, more question marks? Of course, this is a Summer Wells case. A case that not even Lifetime movies can make up. I mean, that's the way it is. You don't hear about the sheriff that's over a child's missing 5-year-old's case. Have a son put in jail for child porn? Not child porn, but child. Y'all know. Try not to say it. I've already said it once. I'm trying not to say it again. But, indecency with a child. How are you going to do that to your stepdaughter? It's a sick mofo that would do that. Totally. In my opinion. How are you going to do that in church to a little girl that looked up to you because you were a leader? How are you going to be that father that helps cover up what disgusting things your son did to those young girls? And still try to find a young child that come up missing? Tell me this case is not doomed from the very minute it was reported. Let's search 1 mile. Okay, we'll search it 500 times, but we be searching it. Stuff. That's stupid. It's disgusting, is what it is. It just makes me nauseous because that's the man that is over Summer's case. He's okay with his son doing that. So why do we expect anything out of him when this could be happening to Summer? Are we supposed to just say, Lawson's got it. No worries. Let's have a tea party. Well, hell no. because people aren't okay with that. People are usually not okay with a young girl being taken advantage by a large, grown-ass adult man. No, it's not right. It's just not right. And it makes me sick. And because of that, I'll be honest with you guys, that's the reason I keep coming on here. But, I got a little tiny channel. And I'm all good. Because if I just reach one person and they hear about it and they find out what's going on in that area to young girls and how many live in that area that do that type of thing, then maybe I've done okay. So I keep coming on. I don't come on a whole lot, and I'm going to try to start doing better, but we'll probably have to wait till after Little League is over with, because I got my granddaughters doing softball. My little man is doing t-ball, and my little girl, she's our princess, and she's out there playing t-ball too. So it's funny. The other day she didn't want to play, and then we told her we would buy her cheese fries. So she jumped up, put her bat and helmet on, and went out there to bat. But I'm going to be at all their games. So mostly Wednesday night is the night we don't have ball. We have it Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night I work. So, but yes, they refuse EquuSearch to come back. Why? I remember being a little girl, and my dad's cousin was a really great diver. He was a police officer. He was part of that crew that would, this is back in the 70s, but he would put on the equipment, the diving equipment and everything, and he would go and dive when they needed him to. And he was very well experienced. And one day they were diving, and he didn't come back up. And he finally came up, and they said his, air was fixing to go out. And so he changed tanks because he thought he had seen something, the body down there, and he wanted to go back and take a look, but he had gotten tangled up. So this body, they had been searching all over the place, all over this. And it wasn't even a lake. It was like a big, huge pond, And they had been searching for days and days and days. He put his tanks back on, and he went back down to where he thought he saw the body, where he had gotten tangled up. And his time had came, and it went, and he never came back up. Took them a week to find him, searching every day, because he was a police officer, so they were very much on it. So, we lost him, and yet it took them all those days to find bodies. Several days, searching and same places and same ponds and, the same pond, the same place, and over and over and over. But yet they expect one time a diver to go down. And okay, we can check that off the list. Summer is not there. No, that's not how it works. And I'm not experienced with it all, but by golly, come on, people. So, yeah, no, there's lots of ponds out there, and they have not all been searched. And that little girl deserves to get those ponds searched. So, I don't even know if she's still there. Hey, Dutchie, how are you? Glad you came. We're getting ready to wrap it up here in a little bit, but I was on a rant tonight. You can go back and listen to me getting flustered, but all the questions. Yep. I haven't listened to Donna Serafina, but I've heard a lot of people that have. So I don't know, you say she ruined it, but I'm not sure how. So, but, there's what was it, the psychic astrologist or something on the Kathy the Friend the other night. So there's people out there everywhere trying to help, doing what they can. Exactly, Barefoot. And Nita Diver was able to search some of the ponds that were not on the map, thank goodness. And there's a lot more of those. Oh, got snuggle time with the hubby while watching TV. Go, Dutchie. But yeah, there's so much to this case that just leaves more questions. Even like the astrologist psychic lady the other day, it left more questions with me. I started creating more questions. That's all this case is one big huge question mark with all these little ones just floating around. It's crazy and it's sad. Donna Serafina humiliated him on a live and he stopped? What? I didn't know that. Okay, Kim, you're going to have to get my email. It's on my about section and send me info on that. I'm not sure I knew about all that. We'll have to check into that one. I'm sorry, but anybody can shut Lawson down as a hero in my book. Because I think he's a piece of crap. Honestly, I do. And I don't say that about law enforcement, guys. I'm serious. My son was military. He served 2 deployments. He came home. He was a police officer. He went to DPS. It was a DPS. He now has his own business where he is filming and videoing, and he has some very important people that he does work for, and he is very successful, and he hasn't even been doing it for 1 year. So I am very proud of him, but I respect all law enforcement. I do. But when you are law enforcement and you're done nothing but stand behind a microphone every once in a while, not good enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, thanks, Kim. I'll have to check into that. Oh, Kiko, did you send it? Okay, thank y'all. I'll check into that. But yeah, so don't think I'm bashing on Lawson because I'm like anti, law enforcement. No. I have my son's friends that are in law enforcement still. I have family members that still are, that have retired from there. I'm good. I respect. But you kind of got to give a little to get the respect you deserve. Yeah, Lawson hadn't gave anything. Not as far as I'm concerned. I will, Dutchie. I will. He always just, every time I tell him, thank you for your service, I'm proud of you or whatever, his words are always the same. Mom, I just did what I had to do. And he wishes he would have stayed in. But he had a girl back here and they were ready to get married and she was almost through graduating at Texas A&M and they were ready to, live their life. So he got out. But it worked out well. I have 2 beautiful granddaughters because of that. And they would have been fine if he stayed in because they had been together since they were like 9th grade. But I just wish that Ronnie Lawson just step up, Lawson. Step up. Do something. Eliminate people if there's nothing to their story. If there is nothing to it, eliminate them. Move on. All you're doing is making YouTube creators stretch a little further every time. Because we're trying to be faithful. We're trying to keep going. We're trying to help Summer find her way back home. If you ain't doing your damn job, then we will. But yet you don't like us. Why? Because we keep messing up that good old boy mentality of Ben Hill and Beach Creek area. The one where y'all like to play with little girls. The one where you don't care if it's girl or boys. Or the one where you like to torture little babies. Oh, or could it be the drugs? You don't want that part to get out. Well, we all know about it. We know there's moonshine. We know there's meth. We know it's out there. Weeds out there. Fentanyl's out there. I'm sure. All of it and more are out there. So find Summer. All that stuff can stay there. We don't give a damn about it. Bring the baby home. So that was my speech to Ronnie Lawson. Sorry, guys. I give... the lolly comes out in me every once in a while. That lolly bear. So it's just sad that we even have to sit here and beg a police officer that is the lead investigator in this baby girl's case to actually do something with her case. Yeah, I understand there are cases that go unsolved. I get that. But if you have nothing, you have nothing. If you have something, but it's on your buddy that lives down the road or around the corner or up over the holler, say something. Quit being a little bitch. So, yeah, I agree. Flies. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. I could take a drive right now and come back home with every one of those I just mentioned. It's everywhere. But Summer doesn't care about that. Yeah, the Ben Hill Beach Creek area and all back up and through there. Generational. It's that generational thing. You know, my daddy did it. My granddaddy did it. I'm going to do it. You know, fine. Do it. Don't give a damn. Just help us get that baby back home. And it don't matter if she is deceased. Let her have a proper burial. She deserved it. She was a living person. She deserved it. I agree, Kim. Lawson is covering because somebody's got something on him. So, yeah, totally agree with that. And it's crazy. You know? Surely there's a way to work it out to where you can make things happen and get this little girl back home and all this, that, and the other without having to bring out something. Because it has nothing to do with what they have on you has nothing to do with Summer. What you did to Summer, or who did it to Summer, or who took her, that ain't her fault. You know, bring her back. Drop her off. Haul ass down the road. You know, doesn't matter. She's with us or not with us. Drop her off at the driveway. Take off. Haul off. Haul ass, because, you know, it's a very quiet road down there, right? Isn't that what Lawson says? It's a very quiet area. So nobody's going to see it. Nobody's going to know. Right? Send a piece of mail. Mail it from somewhere else. Don't put a return address. Tell them where to go to get her. I mean, there's ways of going about getting this baby back home without messing up your drug trade, your sex trade, your torture chambers, whatever the hell you're into. It doesn't matter. This girl should be brought home. And there's ways to do that without disturbing your nice, cushy life you got going. Just bring her back home. You know, I wish we could seriously do something. But I don't know. Somebody saw something. I agree so much, Kim. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows something. They all do. I feel like they all do. I feel like every family out there, they know. They know. Because a stranger is not going to come up to 110 Ben Hill Drive up that crazy ass driveway that most people can't get their cars up. They're not going to get out and walk because they can't get their car up there, so they're not going to get out and walk up there. You don't know what's up there. You can't really see. A stranger's not going to do that. This is someone who has watched, someone who has known, someone who knew that they can get up on that hill that's higher than the Wells house. They can get up there. Nobody's going to know they're up there. Even the owner didn't know that they were up there. And someone to know that would be someone who lives there. Someone who lives out there would be the ones to know that. So, yeah, it's all stayed in that hollow. Kim, I had the same thought. She said, I pray that they are building a case against Lawson and then Summer's case will blow wide open. But are they still investigating Lawson? Did that ever happen? Because that was forever ago, it seemed like. But I do agree with you. I wish something would happen. This little girl deserves it. She totally deserves it. But, well, guys, I'm hitting out about 2 hours, and I ranted and raged enough. So, thank y'all for listening to me. Thank you for hanging out and listening. Say a little prayer tonight for little Noel, wherever he may be, that they find him. The extra prayers for Summer, that somebody actually wants to do something right for her. She deserves it. And we as Summer's Army is never, ever, ever going to give up. You know, I get mad, I get angry, I get worried, I get all this stuff built up, and then it's like, oh, maybe I'll stop doing this. Just makes me want to do it more, because there's obviously no authority figures out in her area that's going to take care and protect her. No law that will stand up and do what's right and bring that baby home. So, nope, let's keep going, guys. Keep her out there. Anytime you travel, make some flyers. Make your own flyers. Email me. I'll get you what I've had. I'll send it to you, and you can print them out and post them wherever you go. You know, we went to Colorado, and every stop we made, Summer went up on the board. I don't know if it ever happened. That Trev guy said they were investigating, but why would they tell anybody they're investigating? See, I don't know. I had heard it, though. I had heard that they were coming in to investigate. So, I don't know. But guys, everybody have a wonderful night. Sleep well tonight. Get some rest. And I'm going to try to come back on maybe like Saturday night, and we can talk again if y'all don't have any big hot plans going. So I will put it out there, and hopefully by then we can get John Davis True Crime. Well, let me know if it's okay, because I don't want to just put something out there without somebody's permission. I feel bad, because he worked hard on that. But I do want y'all to see this, because it's really cool. And I'd like to kind of talk to y'all as we're going through it, but we'll do something if we can't do that, and we'll keep talking about Summer. And guys, if you would just say a prayer for my friend tonight. I'm not going to mention names just yet. She hasn't really gave me all the approval for YouTube, but she's got a lot she's dealing with right now, and to know that your son got in an Uber in a city and was traveling to the next city but never made it is a very scary thing. 3 days is a long time for her. So pray for everybody that you love. Give everybody hugs that you love. Let them know you love them. Let them know you're their number one, because everybody needs it. Everybody needs to hear it. With that said, I'm going to say goodnight, everybody, and y'all take care. Mwah. Love and hugs. Bye, guys.